difference between overt and covert hateful white supremacy phrases. Take a look there. Let's see that on the screen for a sec, folks. At the top, you're going to see the N-word and neo-Nazis. And right below that, there's some more hateful words like and phrases. Get ready for it. Make America great again. Police murdering, or POC, police brutality, denial of white privilege, expecting POC to teach white people. Even, ready for it, celebration of Columbus Day. All those things, leave it on there. Some things are overt, some things are covert. But either way, if you're white and you do any of these things or say any of those phrases, you're a white supremacist. Really? The man who's helping to expose this radical teaching is the president of Judicial Watch. Welcome back to the program, Tom Fenton. Tom, thanks for coming back on the show. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Good to be with you again. Thanks, Dan.
So I got to tell you, my jaw about hit the ground when one of my producers brought this to me and said, look at what this school, and I guess nothing should surprise me anymore, right, Tom, in this country, in Biden's America. But when I see that, according to this school in Maryland, which is their largest district, I can't say, and my kids shouldn't say, make America great anymore, because they're considering it just as bad as saying the N-word. It's just as racist, according to this curriculum. Is that what I'm reading?
Yeah, there's overt white supremacism, and then there's covert white supremacism. And if you say make America great, you're a white supremacist, but it's covert. If you celebrate Columbus Day, according to this class, you're a white supremacist. If you deny you're a racist, you're a white supremacist. And, this is the sort of material that has no place in our school systems. It's racist. It's communist, it's revolutionary, it's extremist. And, it's one thing, we can have a philosophical disagreement about this approach, and morally object to it. But to me, this is a rule of law issue. Civil rights laws, our Constitution, don't allow the government, or many in the private sector, to engage in this racist claptrap. And, it's in the schools. We're seeing it with the mayor of Chicago, Mayor Lightfoot, who issues a statement saying she's going to discriminate against white male supporters or reporters.
I heard that. She's only going to take interviews from people of color. Could you imagine if we said that? If I said, Tom, I'm only going to invite on white guests on my program. What in the Sam you-know-what do you think would happen the next day? There would be people protesting out in front of OAN if I made that statement. But this mayor, an openly gay, right, black mayor, can say, I'm just going to do primarily females and all minorities. No whites anymore for interviews. I couldn't believe it. I'm glad you brought that up. We had the pyramid up there. Part of your investigation, you got a bunch of the documents from this. Can I call it hate teaching? Because to me, it's teaching people to hate whites. So I guess what I'm going to call it. Here's this pyramid you were discussing about the overt and covert hateful white supremacy. And they actually put it into a pyramid. Folks, look at some of this stuff. This is, again, what they're teaching. And, Tom, what grade was this at? Was this a middle school? Thomas Pyle. That was a middle school, right?
Yeah, so it was a middle school grade. It was a summer course. And, the documents make it clear they want this to be district-wide. They spent over $450,000 material in terms of money for a anti-racist audit, which promotes the same type of approach to education. And it really isn't education. It's indoctrination. The goal is to make children into change agents. Part of this class, for instance, they're supposed to write federal, state, and local educational officials to put more of this into the classroom. So, what's really problematic about this, Dan, is that, Montgomery County, it's the biggest school district in Maryland. It's just outside of D.C., so it has virtually every liberal agenda being pushed at that level.
Wow.
And, of course, their schools have been largely closed. So, why open them if this is what they're going to be teaching the kids?
Wow. If you're watching this program and your kids go to the Montgomery County Public Schools, get them out. Do not put them back in fall. This is insane. You were talking about the audit. $450,000 they spent on the anti-racist system audit performed by the Mid-Atlantic Equity Consortium. That's the company that says they have expertise in doing this. So they went in, audited, and pretty much said, you better start changing and teaching this stuff. Otherwise, what you're teaching is racist. I just can't believe this. I mean, they tied in stuff, Tom, and we have another chart I want to show. Great job, by the way, you getting all this stuff. What is white privilege? This one's crazy. Put it up, guys. I have the privilege of having a positive relationship with police. I have the privilege of being favored by school authorities. I have the privilege of attending segregated schools of affluence. I have the privilege of learning about my race in school. I mean, so this is the stuff, and you're talking 6th, 7th, 8th grade. I have a 7th grader about to go into 8th grade, Tom, and this just blows my mind. If I heard the school district was teaching this nonsense to my kid, you betcha you know what, I'd be out in front of that school, I'd be at the school board raising holy heck.
Well, in the Justice Department and the Department of Education and state legal authorities would be investigating the school over their racial discrimination and denying equal protection of the law to students based on race. This is just naked racism. It's extremist, and we provide access to our children and the care of our children to these public school officials. And this is an abuse of that trust, and it's abuse of the children in their care, and it needs to stop.
Well, my hat's off to you, and God bless you for exposing this. I mean, this is absolute, blatant, like you just said, and I'm going to read a quote, Tom. The racist, revolutionary claptrap in these documents should be nowhere near a school classroom. These documents show that extremists have access to our schools and are willing to abuse this access to children to advance a dangerous, divisive, and likely illegal agenda. That's a quote from Tom, folks. You said it best. Keep fighting for our children. Keep fighting for our rights. You guys do such a great job at Judicial Watch. And I know you got like us, you're a small crew, but you're mighty. And you're exposing so much that needs to be exposed. Tom Fenton, the boss, the president over at Judicial Watch. Thank you, sir, for coming on.
You're welcome. Appreciate the good work, Dan.
Yep.